Victoria McManus and I am the Head of Support for Learning and Senko in the prep school at Rugby School, Thailand. Okay, so you can probably tell from my accent that I am British, and before moving to Rugby School I lived on the south coast in England. I have two children, William and Ben. They are 19 and 17. William is taking a gap year in the UK and Ben is here at Rugby School doing his A-levels, so he's here with me. Before I became a teacher, I graduated in journalism and worked for a charity as Head of Communications and Marketing. I then became a teacher, and before I qualified as a Senko, I worked as a deputy head for a pre-prep, teaching year 1 and 2, and I was head of Key Stage 1. Okay, before moving to Thailand, I have only lived in England, but I've really enjoyed travelling around Europe and Africa with my family. Okay, so a typical day at RST for me is incredibly varied. I work with a wonderful team of teachers within the Support for Learning department, and I work with children across the school. Children are all different. All of the students we work with have different needs, and as a Support for Learning team, we work to help those children meet their individual goals. So we could be working with a child in year 3 who needs to work on their fine or gross motor skills, or a student in year 8 who might need some support with mathematics or reading or writing. So it's really varied, and I get to work with children, with their families, and with teachers across the whole school. I think I have one of the best jobs at RST. So one of my most memorable days as a teacher was when I was teaching a year 1 class. As a team, we had planned a creative curriculum, and one of our topics was rainforests. We had this amazing opportunity to go to a conservation centre where we got to touch and meet a variety of insects, reptiles, and learn all about plants of the rainforest. I wasn't intending to touch any of the animals. I was hoping to stand there, take photos, talk to the children, learn a bit more. But when I got there, none of the children wanted to touch the snake. Now, I am pretty terrified of snakes. It isn't something I was ever planning on doing, but the room went silent. Nobody was going to touch this snake. So I had to do it. I had to be bold, I had to be brave, and I touched the snake. I went cold. It was the most horrible thing that I ever had to do as a teacher. But then every single child in that room touched that snake because I had done it. And that was a huge learning curve for me as a teacher, because if I don't step out of my comfort zone, how can I expect children to? And I learned that day that the impact that we as teachers have on children is so powerful, and we just have to be the best we can be every day to get it right for the children we work with. I'm a really open person, so I don't really have any top secrets or hidden talents. Usually if I do things, I tell people about them. But at RST, probably people don't know as much about me. So the things they might not know are I'm a qualified rugby coach. Yes, I know I might not look like one, but I am. I am studying towards a master's in psychology, which is really helping me with my job. And also I've just signed up to run my first ever 10K run. So there are so many people I would invite for dinner. I love having dinner with people and chatting. But thinking about my job, 2 people I would invite for dinner are Mozart and Einstein. Both of those people were on the autistic spectrum. And we don't remember those people for their condition or their difficulties. We remember them because of what they did and the impact they have had on our lives now. I think that's really important to remember, particularly as a Senko and Head of Support for Learning, that everyone should be recognised for who they are and not what their difficulties are. So what's not to love about Thailand? It's a beautiful place, beaches, jungle, wildlife, and the fabulous sunsets that we see most days walking home from work. RST is also a fabulous place to be. I'm surrounded by fabulous students, lovely families, and wonderful talented colleagues. What's not to like?